I'm gonna make a short video about my son James until he makes one, but he likes to party. He's a kid. He got kicked out of a couple schools. One for bringing, I think, marijuana, and then one time he took, like, what he was. One time he was taking Red Bull to school and selling it in the hallways, and they called us and they said he can't do that. We appreciate his entrepreneurship. He was selling them to the high school kids for money. So anyway, in his high school years, he was missing a bunch. He would just stay home. His dad was a bit of a partier and would get them alcohol. So he had pot and alcohol, and he just didn't go to school. So they had the seat time that he could stay after school to make up the days. So he had like 40 hours, and we had a meeting. He was, I think, a junior or senior, and so we all had a meeting about what we were going to do about that. So we went. My son's got this long blonde hair, and he wears it in the man bun. He's a cute guy, He's very handsome, and all the teachers liked him. They're very nice. They said, James will work with you if you want to make up. You have to stay after like 4 hours after school every day, and then you can graduate. And he just kind of smiled, and he's quiet, and he said, well, I'll have to think about it. And so he's living at his dad's house. And as a mom, of course, I'm worried. And he had bought, I guess he bought himself a Fender bass guitar, and his band would practice. And he was teaching himself on the computer how to play all the time. I mean, I go over and watch, try not to look at the booze bottles and things like that. And, he's high school. It's nothing I could do. I just go over and try to support his playing his guitar and listen to him. And he'd say, Mom, look what I learned. Look what I learned. And he's really into that guitar. And he's good. He's, learning how to play. He wasn't playing out at that time, just teaching himself. Had a drum set in his room a friend had set up, and posters all over his walls, like a high school kid. And I called the principal, vice principal. I says, my son in school, what, I was worried. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? He's like, well, he says, Miss Ellis, he says, your son did come to school today, and he smiled and he waved at me, but he's not coming to classes. I was, oh no, what are we going to do? And the next thing I knew, he had dropped out. And, I'm afraid he's going to go down the road of Meyer. And, but then he did get his GED. He got his GED despite all the drugs and alcohol going on in the room. He got his GED, and as things progressed, he moved out and he found a band. I think it was his dad had taken him to the music store, and there was a band called Mad Habit, run by some really nice kids. One's a Virginia Tech engineer, and he moved out in this big, beautiful house, and he got a little part-time job that he could walk to, and they started playing out. And, it was under control. I mean, he was not going crazy on drugs. They were actually playing out, and he had found himself a job, and he started on his way to do something he loved, which was playing a band. And, it got me thinking about all the kids that want to play music and what would have kept him in school to go ahead and do some reading and writing and things like that would be a music room where they could experiment and learn to write music. And that would be really good for these kids to be creative and do that. The ones that are music apt, to be creative and write music and record it and put it on CDs and things like that. That would be beneficial for creativity. I mean, why would you not? Why would you not do that in schools? Doesn't make any sense to me. Thank you.